Every morning before sunrise, in a small village surrounded by fields and dusty roads, Mira quietly began her day. While the world still slept, she lit the stove, prepared tea, packed lunchboxes, washed clothes, and swept the tiny house they rented near the bus stand. Her husband, Ramesh, worked as a daily wage laborer. Some days he earned enough, some days he returned home empty-handed. Life was never easy, but Mira had one dream. Her son, Aarav, loved studying. Unlike other children who spent evenings playing cricket in the streets, Aarav sat beneath the dim yellow bulb, solving math problems and reading old science books borrowed from school. One night, Aarav looked at his mother and said softly, "Amma, one day I want to become an engineer." Mira smiled, but inside her heart trembled, because dreams were expensive and poverty never slept. From that day onward, Mira started a secret habit. Whenever she bought vegetables, she quietly saved 2 or 5 rupees from the change. If milk was cheaper one day, she saved the extra coin. If she stitched clothes for neighbors and earned a little money, she hid a small part of it. Not for herself, not for jewelry, not for festivals, only for Aarav's future. She wrapped the money carefully in old newspaper pieces and hid them inside a rusted steel container beneath sacks of rice in the kitchen. Every night, after everyone slept, she counted the savings in silence. 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, tiny amounts, but giant sacrifices. Sometimes she skipped buying a sari. Sometimes she pretended she wasn't hungry so Aarav could eat more. Sometimes she drank only water at night to save milk for him. Yet every morning, she smiled like nothing was wrong. Years passed. Aarav grew older and smarter. One afternoon, his school announced entrance coaching classes in the city. The fee was impossible for their family. Aarav came home quietly. "I'll leave it, Amma," he said. "We can't afford it." Mira looked at him for a long moment. Then she walked into the kitchen. She bent down near the rice sacks and pulled out the old steel container. Inside were hundreds of folded notes and coins collected over many years. Aarav stared in shock. His mother slowly placed the container before him. "I was saving this for the day you stopped believing in your dream." Tears rolled down Aarav's face. "Amma, how long have you been saving this?" Mira smiled gently. "Since the day you first said you wanted to become something bigger than our struggles." Aarav opened the box with trembling hands. There was enough money for the coaching classes. Not luxury, not comfort, but hope. For the first time in his life, Aarav truly understood his mother's sacrifices. He remembered the torn saris she never replaced, the medicines she skipped buying, the festivals where she bought clothes only for him, the nights she said she had already eaten. Suddenly, every sacrifice had meaning. Aarav studied harder than ever before. Days became nights, nights became mornings, and years later, a letter arrived. Aarav had secured admission into one of the country's top engineering colleges. Mira held the letter with shaking hands. She couldn't even read English properly, but she understood one thing. Her hidden savings had turned into her son's future. On the day Aarav left for college, Mira packed his clothes carefully into an old suitcase. Before leaving, Aarav touched her feet and whispered, "Amma, one day I'll return every rupee you saved." Mira smiled through tears. "A mother never saves money to get it back, beta. She saves so her children never feel poor in life." Years later, Aarav became a successful engineer in a big city. He bought a beautiful house for his parents. People praised his success. But whenever someone asked Aarav the secret behind his achievements, he always said, "My future was built from my mother's hidden savings and the sacrifices nobody saw."